This is it's going to be an exciting Olympics. More athletes and the largest number of athletes participating ever in the Olympic Games. So for that reason, brings a lot of excitement, and just looking forward to our competition.
Can you give me an idea what kind of the pre-Olympics process is right now? I know Colorado Springs.
Well, everything goes through the USOC in Colorado Springs, and for the most part, just keeping the athletes updated. It's a little bit chaotic over there as far as people coming in, and for the athletes getting to the village, getting processed to security codes, from just a lot of administration that we want to try to avoid with the athletes, and the staff take care of most of that. So. For us, it's pretty simple. We're going over and spending a couple days in London, and then we leave immediately to Belarus. The wrestling portion of the Olympics is the last 3 days. So we're going to be training over in Belarus for about 7 days, and then we'll come back. So be a quick trip in, quick trip out, and then we'll spend about a week in London for our events.
Coleman, not just the wrestling part of it, but going over there, going to London, you're going to be the opening ceremonies. Just how excited are you for the whole experience?
I'm excited to get everything started. It's been a long process. Seems like we've been waiting for a while. I feel like I'm ready. I know I'm ready. Coaches have prepared me right and put all the faith in them, and it's just I'm just excited to get over there and get everything started, and I think it'll all sink in once I get there.
Since you have met the team, you were saying it's been pretty chaotic. Just how has it been for you, probably trying to get past that?
It has been, a lot going on, a lot of phone calls, a lot of this and that, and but I've been just keeping even keel and as much as I can, and just worrying about getting better every day in the wrestling room. And that's sort of it's nice to have 2-3 practices a day. You get away from everything, no phone, no nothing, for a couple hours, and that's the way I've been doing it for the last month or so.
Coleman, obviously you got Coach Smith next to you. He's been through this. How does that help in terms of kind of preparing for London?
A lot. I mean, I just listen to what these guys say. I know they've both accomplished what they went there for and won gold medals, and so I can just say, all right, I'll do that. You've done it, so you know what you're doing, and that's really all I've been doing, is just listening and doing everything possible and I can to prepare myself.
I guess this is for both of you, but you've kind of seen what Coleman's, how hard it has been for him to get to this moment. When he finally made the team, what did that mean to both of you?
It was exciting. It was exciting going through the process, and I think as coaches, you try to just give him an idea of what to expect, and whatever it is he had to go through, he just kind of kept his mind focused on wrestling, and just doing the best that he can to prepare himself. And but it was exciting. It was exciting because probably a little more exciting because of the venue where it was held in Times Square in New York City. That was kind of unusual. I couldn't imagine having to make a team right there in New York City, Times Square. So that was kind of different. But all in all, it was exciting just because of the timing of it. We had to wait, and then he was the only one making the team at that time. So it was fun. It was really fun, especially when you train hard and you stay focused, and you had to go through that process. And so to watch him accomplish his goal of making the team was really, really fun and exciting.
Well, I think, like Kenny said, pretty exciting time making the team, but really you need to immediately move into, it's just another tournament from here on out, and that's all it is. It's another tournament. It's a one-day tournament. He's wrestled 1,000 tournaments. It's a tough tournament, obviously, the best wrestlers in the world, but it's another tournament. He goes and wrestles and performs well. Good things are going to happen. It can be a little bit overwhelming if you let it, but in the end, what he needs to remind himself as we go forward from here, it's just another tournament. I got to wrestle tough and hard like I've done all season long, and the outcome is going to be what we want.
Coleman, can you just talk to me about the New York, just Times Square, that's probably your craziest venue you've ever wrestled?
It definitely was the craziest venue. I mean, I've never wrestled outside, and then having that match, and it was literally in the middle of everything, and cars honking, and I mean, our locker room per se was across the street under an awning at the hotel, you know, and we had to get to the match. We were weaving in and out of business people in suits, walking everywhere to get to the mat, and it was definitely different, but it was a great atmosphere and a lot of energy, and you know, I think it did make everything a little bit more exciting, being the last one to make the team and the circumstances that everything was, and it was just definitely an experience, you know, and I was fortunate to be part of it, and just like Coach said, got to go on from here and just treat the next the Olympics as just a tournament.
You've had some, I don't want to say struggles in the past, but tough losses. What are the ones that, you know, still kind of sting, I guess, before you made the team?
I've had a lot of struggles. You know, my first couple years out of college, I couldn't buy a win, it seemed like. And I was just losing the guys that I didn't think I should have, but I think I had to go through that to get where I'm at now. And you know, it was tough being third the last 3 years, you know, knowing you just came up a little bit short, and it's another year you can just go to the World Championships and watch. And I actually didn't even go last year because I was tired of going. I went the first two, and I just said, no, I don't even want to. I'm tired of going. I'm tired of being a training partner and this and that, and you know, I'm going to go make the team this year, and you know, that's been the biggest factor. You know, just I don't know if there's one individual loss, but you know, everything combined, it's been a hard 4 years, but I think it's in the end it all paid off.
Did you ever doubt yourself? You know, maybe you couldn't make it?
I didn't doubt myself. I mean, I went through some tough times. You know, it's just, but you know, I don't think I doubted. I was more upset with myself. You know, why is this? Why me? Why right now? I know I'm better than this. And you know, after talking to coaches and getting feedback and this and that, and it took me a while, but I put everything together. Mentally, I'm a lot better now, a lot stronger, and I think that was a majority of it. You know, giving some of these guys too much respect, and they haven't even done anything yet, you know, just because of where they're from or something. And you know, that's the thing that I had to keep in mind. They're not as good as that we make them out to be.
Coleman, you mentioned how you did wrestle in Times Square and all that, everything that was going on. Does that maybe help you in the Olympics, kind of, in terms of just staying focused?
Yeah, I think so. That was hard to stay focused. You know, I know Coach kept telling me, you know, all right, don't worry about everything else. Don't listen to everybody. Everybody was right on the mat, and they're like, all right, just keep focused. Keep in mind what you're doing here. Don't get distracted by everything. Don't, you know, try to stay even keel as much as you can. And you know, I think it did prepare me for this, and you know, I'm ready to go take this tournament head on, and I'm excited about it, and just leaving everything out on the mat.
What do you know about his weight class? Some of his, you know.
Well, when you look at the competition, you measure it up. I mean, you think about wrestling, and you know, there's millions and millions and millions on top of millions wrestlers that weigh between 60 kilos and 74 kilos. I mean, the bulk of wrestlers are in those middle weights, and of course, year in and year out, there's a tendency the best wrestler in the world, pound for pound, coming out of one of those weights. So, you know, keep in mind there's 19, 20 guys in the Olympics that's going to be at his weight, and that's all gone through qualification. There's world champions, there's guys that medaled in the past Olympics that did not qualify. So, you know, there's no easy draw. You know, everybody's pretty good, whether it be from Iran or whether they be from Cuba, you know. But he does have an individual at the weight class that has won several world championships here in a row from Russia, that has recently been beat for the first time since the last Olympics. And it just shows everybody that you can be beat. Anybody can be beat. And, but if I start going into names of people, I think that Coleman said it best. They're good, but they're not people that can't be beat. You know, Coleman's good. Coleman's wrestling better than he's ever had in his career. I've coached him and seen him since he was a freshman here. And his level of maturity right now on the mat and what he expects out of himself on the mat has never been as aggressive as it's been up to this last 6 months. So his best has come out here in the end, and like he said, probably is part of that journey, disappointment. You know, when you don't make the team, you got to wait another year. You know, it's not like in between you get to wrestle in big events. No, you travel overseas and you wrestle in a few events, but him clawing through it has made him really tough and put him in a position to believe the things he believes right now.
You've been to a lot of these. Does this ever get old?
You know, I think, yeah, Kenny and I know Kenny made 3 Olympic teams, and I know he's been on the staff, this year's staff, so this is his 4th, maybe 5th Olympics that he's participated in. 3 as an athlete. No, Olympics never get old. I mean, it's probably I've had a chance to go to the World Cup in soccer. I've had the chance to go to the Final Four. I've been to a couple pretty big events, but this Olympics, it's exciting just from the standpoint of, you know, it's a proud moment for your country. You know, we take pride in winning medals, and you know, that's why we're the greatest country in the world, you know, that we give our athletes a real opportunity to be the best they can be in their sport. And, you know, a lot of things go behind these athletes from the USOC to help them accomplish some of those goals and dreams. So that's what makes the Olympics exciting, is you know that these are special guys in their sports that are making sacrifices for a medal, not for fame, not for money, but for a medal.
Anything else? Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Thank you. Huh? Yeah, sure.